We're making the Mexican potato hash, and we're doing the medical medium shock therapies, but we're specifically doing the medical medium aloe shock therapy. You don't want to miss this. Stomach problems, anybody? Digestive problems, acid reflux, gastric pain, burning stomach, ulcers, H. pylori, anything else? Did anybody get diagnosed with gastritis? We're talking about aloe vera, life-saving tool. But it's all about how you use it. I'm going to teach you guys a lot of different tricks on how to use aloe vera. It's going to be really fun. We're going to talk about how you eat it. We might blend it in some water. We're going to talk about what it can do for us, all of it. This is going to be a big deal. We're going to read a little bit out of the book on the medical medium shock therapies. We're going to talk about stomach problems and stomach issues, and we're making the Mexican potato hash. This is gonna be incredible. A great episode right here. Hope you guys relax, sit down, enjoy it. If you have the book already, we're looking at the wrong thing really quick. Let's go find it now. If you guys, that's why I like being live. If you guys actually have the book on hand and you actually have the Mexican potato hash with you, that's totally awesome. Hey, let's start putting it together. I'm excited, but we've got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. Stomach problems. Wow, I know. Ooh, hold on. Got some flatulence that's trying to move through me, and guys just have to be like patient here with me. Here, I just gotta kind of like sit over here for a second. I gotta get that gas out, so just bear with me right now. I know it gets in the way. That happens to everybody all the time out there. People have stomach problems. They're like holding in their farts, they're holding in their gas, they're holding in their flatulence. I mean, they're holding it all in. If they're around people, their stomach is cramping and they're crossing their legs. They're trying to keep the farts in. They're trying to keep the gas in. They're trying to make sure it stays in because they have all kinds of stuff going on. What they have going on, all kinds of different things. If they went to the doctor and the doctor, well, we don't know really what's wrong with you. You can have this, you can have that. All of it. A lot of people have different things, but bacteria is one of those things right there. Bacteria causing problems in the intestinal tract. Viruses causing trouble in the intestinal tract. Big stuff right there. So right here, I'm going to bring this over. Let's go into it a little bit. If you guys just got on here, we're doing medical medium shock therapies, but specifically, we're doing medical medium aloe shock therapy, a life-saving tool. All kidding aside on all levels, it is a life-saving tool for so many people that couldn't eat, who have food sensitivities, chemical sensitivities, problems with their digestion. They don't know what to eat. They're having stomach pain after they eat. They're suffering every day with either a bloating, cramp issue, gastric spasms, all kinds of different diagnoses with their stomach, from SIBO to gastritis to Crohn's colitis to IBS, flip-flopping to all three of those. Sometimes just, hey, you got H. pylori, or we don't know what's wrong with you, but so many people struggle and suffer inside their gut. Diverticulitis, diverticulosis, another great thing we're going to talk about with this right here. Ulcers. This in my hand is a life-saving tool for so many people out there if you know how to use it. If you know how to do the medical medium aloe shock therapy and know how to apply this, it is mind-blowing, life-changing for a lot of people. I believe there's a whole bunch of people that are going to watch this right here and watch the replay on this, and they're going to learn how to use this, what's in my hand, and they're going to be like, oh my God. I've been to 20 doctors. They didn't know how, to get my bloating down or my cramping down or my gastritis that keeps on coming back. I've done all the different antibiotics for my SIBO and my problems with my intestinal tract problem. My microbiome doctor is telling me I have this wrong, that wrong. I've tried all the different pills and formulas and everything and the antibiotics. And then, boom, suddenly they learn how to do aloe shock therapy and their life changes. It is mind-blowing. Their life changes. So I want to just give you a little rundown really quick. I got an intestinal tract in front of me, right here, in front of you too. And what happens to people is bacteria over time creates so much gas because it's feeding off of things that it loves to eat. Now, over time, pockets develop in the small intestinal tract, expansions. Fecal matter starts to build up. It gets trapped in pockets. The pockets grow, they stretch, and they expand. And in those pockets, more bacteria lives happily. It feeds, has a feeding frenzy. It hides underneath fecal matter, undigested proteins. It hides under hardened, encased fat that sticks to the lining of the intestinal tract and the colon. And the bacteria has a field day in there. It produces ammonia and other gases, toxic gases. Those toxic gases put pressure on the intestinal tract lining. When that pressure is on the intestinal tract lining, expansion occurs. Elasticity starts to go away. The actual lining of the intestinal tract starts to weaken. Very important to understand. And as it starts to weaken, expansions and pockets develop. And then we have more and more problems with our intestinal tract. Gastric spasms, peristaltic action issues, pain, burning, cramping. It can be so debilitating, it could leave somebody in fetal position on a daily basis after they go to bathroom, before they go to bathroom. And then there's the whole, I didn't go to bathroom enough. I feel like I'm not finished. That's a whole nother problem all on its own. I feel like I haven't gone to bathroom enough. Like, not enough came out of me. I didn't defecate enough. I didn't eliminate enough. Huge thing that happens to people every day out there. They don't feel satisfied. And that's the thing. There's satisfaction when we go to the bathroom. It's like we feel like we emptied everything out. We feel good about it. We feel like everything's working okay. The plumbing's working okay. We feel good about it. But then our trust starts to break when it's not working so good. And our stool doesn't feel right. Or a lot of our stool doesn't come out, just some of it. And we feel bloated and inflamed and all hung up in there. If you guys just got on here, we're talking about medical medium, aloe shock therapy. One of the most powerful medical medium tools. One of the most powerful medical medium tools, and a life-saving one. I've seen people with Crohn's, colitis, about to get surgery, mystery intestinal tract problems for years, do aloe shock therapy and free themselves from surgery. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I know doctors who have seen it and witnessed it through the medical medium information. So this is probably one of the most profound episodes, medical medium history right here. We're going to talk about how to use aloe. I'm excited. And we're going to have some fun. Make a Mexican potato hash too. So let's get into it a little bit more in the intestinal tract and the colon. Okay? So I want to move this over. All right, let's get into it. So we eat our food. We eat, our food goes down into our stomach. Our HCl is not strong enough, doesn't break down the proteins enough. Proteins drop into the duodenum. From the duodenum, they enter the small intestinal tract, not properly digested, not properly broken down. From there, the proteins start to rot, and then we get gut rot. With that gut rot is ammonia, a gas that's produced from the rotting food. The rotting food attracts menaces. Those menaces are bacteria, viruses, yeast, fungus, unproductive fungus, even some different varieties of mold. But either way, one thing's for certain, bacteria is going to lead the way. And it's going to be the one that actually starts to feed off of all the food that's rotting, the undigested proteins that are rotting. As bacteria feeds off of those undigested proteins, the bacteria releases gas and toxins and spews and releases excrement. The bacteria basically poops out the excrement, poops out the undigested proteins, the food, and then now it's more toxic than ever before and producing more gas than ever before. As this process is happening, pockets and expansions start to occur in the small intestinal tract. These pockets and expansions make it so then we feel like we got a stitch. We actually have a stitch. Like, ooh, what is this? This is like, whoa, I kind of feel this after I went to the bathroom. I don't know why this kind of hurts. These are what I call stitches. Not the kind of stitches when you cut yourself and you go and you get sutured up. Not those kind of stitches. Stitches where they feel like a sharp knife jabbing you, or like a pricker bush inside of you, or something where it's sharp and jagged, and it gets you for a minute, and then it moves on along. After a little while, that stitch can shift, and now that stitch isn't up here anymore on the left side. Now that stitch is down lower on the left side, or that stitch is down righter on the right side, down righter on the right side, down lower. But the stitch can move and shift around. So as our food is rotting inside of our gut, producing ammonia gas, and then a feeding frenzy occurs, bacteria mainly, feeding off all the different undigested proteins and the food you're eating. As this keeps on going, every single day, week after week, week after week, we get expansions. But we get expansions before we get narrowing. And narrowing is another topic right here that's very important. Expansions are the first thing that occurs. And then narrowings come later. Now, how does a narrowing occur inside the intestinal tract? And what is a narrowing? It's when the intestinal tract starts to shrink in an area. Think about a pipe. And in that pipe, a part of the pipe has a different diameter, a smaller diameter. So as food's going through, it ends up hitting a narrowing. But before we go into the narrowing, I want to finish up with the expansions. First thing that happens in people with digestive problems is they get pockets and expansions. So that means the intestinal tract is pocketing out. This isn't diverticulosis or diverticulitis. This can be a healthy intestinal tract that's actually expanding from pressure, not just fecal matter pressure that's building up, but ammonia gas pressure from pathogens like the bacteria feeding off of undigested proteins. As the expansion occurs too regularly, the lining of the intestinal tract, the wall, weakens. When the lining starts to weaken, we end up getting a narrowing. The reason why is because the lining is now too weak. The flexibility goes the opposite direction, goes inward instead of outward, because the lining was stretched. So as pockets develop in the small intestinal tract and the linings are stretched because these pockets are out-pocketing, the lining weakens and then falls in. And so as it falls in, we now have narrowing. So what happens to people with stomach problems and intestinal problems, they have pockets and narrowing. So they have some parts of the intestinal tract where it gets narrow. Some parts of the intestinal tract, it's wider and a pocket. And this can change and shift in different parts of the intestinal tract over time. But it causes a lot of problems. Chronic gastritis, chronic gas, chronic bloating, chronic stitches, gastric spasms, chronic IBS, chronic constipation, chronic diarrhea. We got all these different issues because of what's happening inside the intestinal tract. Now that's the intestinal tract I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the ileum and then the ascending colon and then the descending colon and then eventually out the door. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole other problem where bacteria loves to sit. Now when people get a SIBO diagnosis, what they're really getting is a strep diagnosis inside the intestinal tract, inside the gut. So when someone goes to the doctor or the practitioner and they say, hey, you got SIBO, take this antibiotic, here, blow in this, Let's do a blood test. Let's do this and that. Let's try to determine what you have. Let's do a stool sample. Let's look at some urine. And in the end, they'll just be like, well, you have SIBO. You have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, right? But what kind of bacteria is it? The bacteria that's leading the way, even over C. diff, inside people's guts, is strep. Strep is that one bacteria that wreaks havoc, and people have more varieties than one. They'll have 10 varieties of strep. They'll have the strep that gave them strep throat. They'll have the strep that gives them acne all over the place. They'll have the strep that gives them stomach problems. They'll have the strep that gives them UTIs, bladder infections, and kidney infections, or commonly known as a yeast infection, which really is a strep infection where there's a yeast gathering, but the strep is the root cause. So what people do is they'll do an antibiotic protocol. Maybe they'll start with that. Then they'll be told lots of probiotics and lots of prebiotics. So they'll be on all these probiotics and all these prebiotics. And they'll be back and forth with this as they get more stomach problems. They start to go away. Then they get stomach problems again. They get gastritis again, bloating, constipation, cramping, diarrhea, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, which amazes me because the industry named it irritable bowel syndrome, made everybody think they actually knew what was wrong, but they didn't. It was just you got an irritable bowel. That's all they had to offer was, sir, ma'am, you got an irritable bowel. That was it. So people walk around with an IBS diagnosis for years. And they're like, well, I got IBS. I got IBS. Well, what is it? Oh, it's, the doctor said it's IBS. It's irritable bowel syndrome. So what the doctor's saying is you have an irritable bowel. Not, why do you have an irritable bowel? Or this is what's irritating it. And so forth. Celiac sufferers, all the same. People walk around with a diagnosis, but they don't know what's causing it. Crohn's, colitis, celiac, IBS, gastritis. It's another one all on its own. Gastritis. What's behind it? What's behind most of these conditions is the bacteria and strep bacteria. C. diff can cause some problems with people, but C. diff is either on or it's off. It's hot or it's cold. Strep is hot all the time and warm. So it's always there. It's always wreaking havoc because people don't know how to rid it or clean it up or get rid of it. And it wreaks havoc. It sits inside their intestinal tract forever and it causes problems. So if you guys just got here, we're doing aloe vera shock therapy. You see a blender here because I might pull off some aloe vera water. But I'm going to show you, though, different ways of eating aloe, show you some tips on how to cut it, what you're doing, how you're not doing the green skin. So stick around because we got some stuff to do and we got some ground to cover. Right now we're talking about digestive problems, inflammation inside the small intestinal tract and colon. And we can even talk about stomach problems too for a little bit. We might head into there now. So I have a stomach in my hand right here. And inside a stomach are stomach glands. These stomach glands are gastric glands. They have to stay strong. They have to be superpowered. That's your gastric juice. Your gastric juices. A big part of how we break down our food, break down our proteins, all of the above with food. They weaken in people. People are on coffee and vinegar and all kinds of other things, and they're under a lot of stress. And their gastric glands start to get beaten down, broken down, and they can't break down their food. Their HCl is non-existent. So their food is passing through them and starting to rot, as we talked about before. Another thing that people are dealing with that have gut problems is liver issues. So the minute someone gets diagnosed with any kind of gut issue whatsoever, Crohn's, colitis, IBS, gastric problems, stomach cramps, gastritis, whatever it is, you have to think liver's going to be involved. A weak, stagnant, sluggish, overburdened, overworked liver. That's what's involved right there. And a liver that's getting fatty. A fatty liver. Even if it's not diagnosed as such, livers are fatty before getting a fatty liver diagnosis. You can have a liver issue without having elevated enzymes, liver enzymes. You can have a liver issue long before there's an elevation of liver enzymes. Important key to know. Might be like, hey, my liver enzymes are good. Doctor said I'm fine. but I still got the cramping and the bloating, my stomach hurts, or the burning in my stomach, or extra gas, or my bathroom isn't right. However you see it or feel it, the liver plays a role. So stagnant, sluggish livers, and what happens is that strep bacteria will sit and live inside the liver, along with other pathogens such as viruses and so forth. But the bacteria, the strep, live in the liver. It'll live in a gallbladder. It'll live in your stomach. It'll live in your small intestinal tract, your colon, and it'll live right outside your anus. Right outside someone's anus. Strep loves to be there. And it ends up on people's hands. And when it ends up on people's hands, it ends up on everything from grocery store, shopping carts, to door handles, to everything else someone touches. If they're not washing their hands enough, they'll have the strep on their hands. And strep is interesting because when people don't wash their hands and they have it on their anus and they get it back on their hand, they end up putting it back on their anus from their hand. It goes back and forth, a symbiotic relationship from somebody's hand to their anus. The strep passes back and forth. That's how actually tricky strep is. And crafty it is too. All right, let's go into some aloe vera. Let's move a little bit. Just giving us a little bit of a rundown on how gut health to a degree works. Let's get into some aloe. Let's make some room. And I'm going to get a blade out. There we go. Little paring knife right here. On IG, the video was paused. If the video is paused, you can go to medicalmedium.com, watch this live right on medicalmedium.com. You can watch it live on Rumble right now. You can watch it live on TikTok right now too. IG's having problems, tech problems over there at IG, so everybody's getting kicked off. They're keeping our numbers really low on there. We went up to like 1,000 when we turned it on, and then everybody was getting kicked off, and it went down to 700. So anyway, try those other places. You can watch it on YouTube live too. That's where we are. But you don't want to miss this. Medical Medium Shock Therapy. Going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to do the aloe in a second. So let's get down to it. I want to go into the section of the book where it's Medical Medium Shock Therapy. It's like one of my favorite sections of the Medical Medium books. And I'm going to it as we speak. Let's see if we can find it. Here we are, Medical Medium Shock Therapies. So if you want to know what book it is, it's the Protocols book. If you don't have this book, it's a great book to have. Give it to somebody for the holidays, Christmas gift, Thanksgiving, whatever. Have it there, family gatherings, or just give it to a friend. It's an incredible life-saving tool. This book is packed with information. It's not just the heavy metal detox cleanse. It's not just the advanced heavy metal detox cleanse. It's the shock therapies. It's so much more. It's protocols, supplemental protocols. Teaches you how to heal. Teaches you how to get better and move yourself forward. Medical Medium Shock Therapies. Okay, these are powerful healing tools to rebuild your immune system by fueling it with what it needs to fight an infection. Why are people sick? Why are people sick? They just magically get sick. That's it. Magically get sick. That's it. You're okay one day and then you got a problem? And that's all? That's all she wrote? That's it? What you'll see here is these are powerful healing tools to rebuild your immune system by fueling it with what it needs to fight for you. An infection. Fight an infection. When you actually take in this information, the power it has. Now, if I was sick and I was going here to there, door to door, wherever, trying to get an answer, trying this and trying that, and I was on TikTok looking for the hack of the day, and I was just looking for something to heal me, and I just didn't know really what was going on, and I learned that I had an infection. Right there, something happens inside the brain, something happens inside the body, like boom, I got an infection. Whoa, that means I have to heal that infection. What is this infection? What's going on? What tools do I need? Our immune system needs to be strong. All these things count. Okay. Even in emotional challenges, the shock therapies help us. Digestive problems and so forth. Rebuilding our systems and fortifying our systems and immune systems. Medical medium shock therapies have a profound record of helping people overcome serious health obstacles. You guys just got here reading out of protocols. If you don't have the book, you're missing out. These supplement therapies can be useful for almost anything you're ailing with. Medical medium shock therapies are powerful whether you're up against intense stress or need a shift from a long-standing chronic illness roller coaster ride. Who's been on the roller coaster ride of chronic illness? Like, who's been on that ride? I was like, got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Yep, everything's going okay. I still feel sick. My God. Whoa! Who's on the roller coaster ride right there? Right? Or the upside down loop-de-loop roller coaster ride. Yeah. Medical medium shock therapies are critical to this day and age where there's COVID, there's flu, there's the like, there's all of it. There's Epstein-Barr in every corner. Everybody's passing bugs around. We get exposed by everything from toxins to pathogens. We're bombarded by fragrances that are literally like gassing people to death. This stuff is so toxic. Medical medium shock therapies are critical for this day and age. Oh, yeah, that's right, though. You're not up against any of that. No, you're one of those people that are not up against any of that. No, not at all. Everything's good until it's not. Everything's great until you get sick. Everything's perfect till it isn't anymore. As darkness tries to destroy all that's good, we rise against darkness using light-created health weapons to regain empowerment. That's just so powerful. The name of the book somebody was asking is Medical Medium Brain Saver Protocols. When you read this book, you will be mind blown. It's nothing like anything you've ever seen. Seriously, go to Amazon. I saw it was like, I don't know, 40 or 50% off or something like that. Crazy on Amazon. Don't quote me on that, but it's on sale on Amazon right now. As the changing times bring additional stress upon us, has the changing times brought any additional stress upon you guys? Because the changing times is pretty rough. And it's brought stress upon me throughout my life. The quickening and everything, are things happening fast out there right now? Things are happening at lightning pace right now. That's how crazy it is out there. As the changing times bring additional stress upon us, humankind goes into a deeper health deficit than during previous decades. Sickness now dominates the lives of billions of people. Did you hear that? Sickness now dominates people's lives. Billions of people now on this planet, sickness dominates their life. Why do you think you see people on social that you would have never saw even 8 years ago, 10 years ago on social media? Why do you see that? 10 years ago, you didn't see 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds freaking out. They're so sick. And they're on social media like, I just got diagnosed with Lyme and fibro and chronic fatigue syndrome and I got all kinds of problems and I got acne and this and that. Like, it's out of control. It's out of control. Sickness now dominates the lives of billions of people. Medical medium shock therapies are here to help level the playing field, baby. Level the playing field. Where chemical and medical industries are playing dirty against humankind. You don't think they're playing dirty against you? You don't think they're playing dirty? You guys know what's up. You know what's happening out there. You know how the industries work. You got a good idea. You know the dirty games that's going on. with people's health. It's crazy. So the medical medium shock therapies, there's the zinc shock therapy, which is really powerful. I'm not going to go into that right now because we're doing aloe vera shock therapy today. There's so many powerful ones right here. There's the vitamin C shock therapy, which is really incredible. There's the lemon balm shock therapy for nerves, which is amazing. There's the golden seal shock therapy. There's the thyme tea shock therapy. There's the propolis shock therapy, which is so sick, so good and helpful. There's the aloe vera shock therapy. Many people struggle with gastro problems, gastro pain, gastric issues, gastric problems, intestinal pain that radiates all through the abdomen, torso without realizing that it originates from the stomach or intestinal tract. You know what? People can literally have gastric problems that take them out in the shoulder, right here. The shoulder. They think they have shoulder pain. They think something's wrong with their shoulder. And then it goes away. It hits them, takes out a shoulder. And they're just like, oh my God, my shoulder. Why is it hurting so much? Oh, right up here in my shoulder. It's a stomach issue. It's an intestinal tract issue. It takes them out on the shoulder. And there's people where it takes them out, boom, in their neck and shoulder. Like takes their neck out and their shoulder. There's people where it takes their upper back out. Their upper back just gets taken out. And it's their stomach and intestinal tract. And it's taking out their shoulder and their upper back. What I mean by taken out, I mean you're in pain. You're just like, what's going on? It's after I ate or before I ate or I got too hungry or I'm not hungry enough. Whatever it is that's going on, people, it hits them hard and it hits them in the strangest places you couldn't believe. I just couldn't believe. Aloe vera has chemical compounds that neutralize acid and calm nerves in the intestinal tract linings. Let's go into that a little bit. We're going to be showing you how to use aloe. We still got a Mexican potato hash to make, which I'm pumped up about. All right, so let's hit the intestinal tract a little bit real quick here. Important to know. Right. So that intestinal tract is lined with nerves. Little tiny nerves that eventually find their way to bigger nerves. And so all these little nerves that are in the intestinal tract lining become hot. I call them hot spots. For over 3 decades, I've been teaching people how to heal their gut, how to heal their intestinal tract. And it's a term that came from Spirit of Compassion a long time ago, where it's hot spots in the intestinal tract. Hot spots are little inflamed areas of the intestinal tract lining that are saturated with nerves, and when anything touches them, the nerves light right up. Boom, they light up. So you got food going through here or a gas bubble going through here. And the minute that gas bubble touches one of those hot spots, the whistle blows. The whistle blows. The minute something moves, a piece of food, something happens, something shifts, or peristaltic action occurs, where all of a sudden now your intestinal tract is twisting. It's twisting because it's trying to move the food through. A message is coming from your brain right to your intestinal tract lining, and it's twisting. You try to get the message through and get the food through. And when that happens, hot spots occur. And you're like, whoa, whoa, or oh, whoa, or oh, whoa. And then you could be somebody that's inflamed in one area, right down here in the ileum. A lot of people are inflamed in the ileum. And as they're inflamed in the ileum, down here deep, right in that little section, it stops food from passing through easy, so then they get bloated, and all the gas gets trapped in here and builds up. All the gas gets built up and trapped in here. It doesn't even reach the colon. Your gas is way up high, all trapped here. We're in aloe vera shock therapy. All right. Aloe vera has chemical compounds that neutralize acid and calm nerves in the intestinal tract linings, slowing down and stopping intestinal spasms. So the goal with the aloe is to slow down and stop intestinal tract spasms. Aloe neutralizes acids and inhibits bacteria and viral growth, as well as yeast, unproductive fungus, and mold growth. So you got all these people, something's growing inside of them. All these people out there, and something's growing inside their gut. Unproductive fungus, bacteria, multiple strains of bacteria, 100 different strains of bacteria that could not be good ones, but they're bad ones. Unproductive fungus, even unproductive mold growth. But a lot of people have stuff growing inside their guts, and they can bombard the shit out of their guts with probiotics. They can try this probiotic and this one and this gas thing and this gut whatever and this, and they can do all the pill popping they want, and they can do all the powders they want. They can do all the antibiotics they want, and they can just put stuff down, and because they want to heal their gut, and it's not going to do the trick. Everything in there that's growing that shouldn't be growing is growing and growing and growing. It's why the medical medium protocols in general are so powerful. Like the liver rescue smoothie, heavy metal detox smoothie, the mono cleanses, like all of these different parts and tools for medical medium information, because that's why they're so powerful. Like the celery juice, because it inhibits and it knocks down that bacteria, it knocks down that fungus that's unproductive. So let's go into this a little bit. Suggested applications for medical medium aloe vera shock therapy. Before we go in that, I want to read a little bit more. Aloe vera also soothes the linings of the intestinal tract, calming inflamed intestinal tract nerves. Back to that again. Our nerves get inflamed inside of our gut. It causes these hot spots to occur. Things light up and you're hurting. You're bloating, hurting, cramping, burning. In trouble. All right. Suggested applications for medical medium aloe vera shock therapy: stomach pain, gastro pain, intestinal and stomach pain that rises into the chest or runs through the back and up to the neck and shoulders. Like I was talking about before, gastric pain that runs up to the shoulders, to the neck, up to the chest. Heartburn? Heartburn? What the hell is that? What the hell is heartburn? I love that one. Like, what is that? Greatest science in the world is here in the United States or on the planet, right? In the West. The greatest science minds in medicine. It's heartburn. Millions of people walked into their doctor's offices, right? Doctors from the best medical universities on the planet. Scientists, the best there is, right? And they got a diagnosis of heartburn. What the is that? Heartburn. Your heart's burning? Your heart's on fire? It's burning? Is that what heartburn is? But no. Instead, they don't get it. Gastric spasms, low HCl, overgrowth of bacteria, peristaltic action hitting nerves that are inflamed, pockets and narrowing. And then what happens is boom, that pain, that wake rides up, hits us in the shoulder, hits us in the neck, hits us up here in the chest, hits us here. Real explanations, understanding what's going on in here is critical. Passing it off as heartburn. The 1940s, you got heartburn, Mr. Jones, you have heartburn. Take an aspirin. That was it. And it carried all the way until the microbiome guys kicked in, which is the functional medicine doctor microbiome guys. And they're just bombarding everybody with probiotics. Like, just douse it with this. Here, take another bottle of probiotics. Take this gut health product. Take this, take this. It's like the same shit. Just different day. Crohn's, colitis, IBS, celiac, acid reflux, ulcers, stomach burning, H. pylori. Who's had H. pylori? What I love about medical medium aloe shock therapy is it's incredible for H. pylori. SIBO. Who's ever had SIBO? Anybody get a diagnosis of SIBO? This is incredible tool for SIBO. Stomach pain. I saw somebody else ask what book it is. Brain Saver Protocols. If you don't have this, you're missing out. Amazon.com. It's on sale right now. Watch out for the imposter books. It's crazy. Stomach pain shortly after eating a meal. Who gets stomach pain shortly after eating a meal? Who gets stomach pain shortly after eating anything? Intestinal cramping, gastritis, severe bloating, that's painful, constipation, and what about gastroparesis? That one too. I love aloe vera shock therapy. For an adult, consume 2 to 4 inches of fresh aloe vera gel, skin removed, every 2 to 4 waking hours. Let's hit it. All right. So here's what I want to do right here. Can we get a close-up? Oh, there we go. Awesome. All right. There's your aloe leaf right there. Just going to move stuff away a little bit so we can kind of get a focus. There it is. What I do is, you see this knife right here, you guys? On IG, you probably can't see the close-up, but everybody on YouTube, Rumble, right, you guys can see it. So what I'm going to do is cut this piece off here. Little too bitter. You can use it if you really want, but it's kind of hard to use this area. So I like to go just deep enough, like this. So I discard this, or you can use it. You can put it on your skin. You can do that. If you want to put it on your skin, you can do that, like, you know. You can save that piece. All right. 2 to 4 inches of aloe. So what do? We can measure it if we want. I just call it by eye. That's about 1 inch, right? It's 2 inches, somewhere around there. 3 inches, 4 inches. So you can do 2 inches. So let's do that first, okay? So I'm going to cut it just like that. You guys with me right here? You guys with me? Next, there's a little sticker on here. This one's a store-bought one. And this one's from my garden right here. I'm going to open that up in a little bit too. My garden one doesn't look as nice as the store-bought one, but it is nice though. All right, so I'm going to remove that sticker right there. Okay, what you do is you take the knife and you don't cut it completely in half. I don't like to do that. I cut just the top part down and then I open it like this. See this, you guys? Now check this out. You would think that, and you could if you wanted to, you could think that you can use this knife and then slice the green off. Now, just so you know, you don't want the green involved. You don't want to eat the skin. You don't want to have the skin mixed up in a blender. You don't want to grind it up. You don't want the green skin. You just want the gel inside. Now I'm going to take a spoon. I'm using the spoon. See how I got the spoon this way? Not that way, right? I don't have it facing down. I have the spoon facing up. What I love about this trick, once you get the hang of this, it's the best way to do it. I take the spoon facing up. I stick it under this lip right here. And then I keep the aloe down and the skin up. See what's happening right here? So I'm using a spoon to fillet the skin. Look how cool that is. Look at that right there. See what I did? There you go. Then I can do the same thing here. I can actually fillet the skin with the spoon facing up. Now I cut that skin, so that one's a little weird there. So it is what it is, but there you go. So right now I have that set up. Now I like to do shot glasses, put it in shot glasses. That's one option right there. What I have right here is a shot glass in front of me. Check this out. That's one option. The other option is I just like to eat it with a spoon. That's what people should do. They should learn to eat it with a spoon. The aloe water is a great way to do it, and I'm going to show you how to make that in a little while. But I challenge you to learn how to consume this in the most potent way. The most potent way is not in the water. That's not the most powerful way to use it to heal and to use it as a powerful healing tool. No. The most powerful way is eating it straight. Right here, eating it straight. So you take the spoon and you go down and you scoop it right off like that. And that's the best way to eat it is this way. And that's the most powerful way. Yeah? Happens to taste really good. If you don't like the taste of aloe, over time you'll learn about it. And over time you'll acclimate to the flavor and you'll start to enjoy it and you'll start liking it. Now I'm going to put it in a shot glass now. You got the shot glass right here. So I'm going to take this next piece with the spoon and I'm going to put it in the shot glass, just like that. Now you can actually scrape down to the skin and get a little bit more, but remember this, the closer you get to the skin, the more bitter it is. Like medicine bitter. So the closer you get to the skin to get the aloe, and I do that, I scrape it down to the skin, but I know that a lot of people aren't going to like that because it's going to have like what feels like a nasty taste when it's down to the skin. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to scrape it down. You just don't. But what you do is you can make a shot glass right here. You can put them in the fridge and you can have it set up. So when you're doing medical medium aloe vera shock therapy and you're doing it every 2 hours, you're doing it every 4 hours, you can actually just have it in shot glasses prepared, ready, just like this. So I'm going to move this over. Let's cut another piece. Okay. All right, now, a couple of things to know. As you move down this leaf, it's going to turn pink or red. So if you keep this in your fridge, it's in there for a long time, the aloe leaf will eventually start to oxidize and it'll start turning pink or red. And it usually turns pink or red down by the tail in the lower sections. So if you're trying to keep the aloe around longer for like a week in the fridge or 2 weeks in the fridge or something like that, you might want to start eating from bottom up, believe it or not, where you cut the tail off, discard that because that's hard to really get that aloe out unless you squeeze it out and you use it for something for skin or so forth, right? All right, so let's cut another piece. Now, 2 inches, you can do a 4-inch. Now, I like bigger pieces like this. Right there. See that? I like a nice big piece like that. So I'll show you one more time how to do this. And we'll pop this in the blender. So I'm going to take the knife and I'm going to cut right here on top. I'm not going to cut deep. I'm not going to go like that. Okay? I'm going to cut right on the top, just the surface. Like this. Open it up just like that. Take a look. Right? Once again, you take the spoon, face the spoon up. This is the best way to do it. I promise you, this is the best way to do it. When you play with aloe, this is the only way to do it. Take the spoon facing up, and you follow the skin like this. There you go. Right on down. It doesn't get any better than that. That's the way you fillet a fish. An aloe fish. It's not a fish. And then, I'll get the other side right now. Once you learn this, there you go. That's how you fillet aloe vera right there. Until this day, I've never seen anybody do it that way out there. Never seen it ever. And it's the best way by far to do it. So let's go into this a little bit. So let's talk about like how often to eat it and so forth. Medical medium aloe vera shock therapy directions in protocols. Make sure you get this book. If you can, go to the library and get it for free. I don't care. I don't care if you go to the library and get it for free. Just get the book for free then. That's fine. Or Amazon on sale. But make sure you have the Brain Saver protocols. For an adult, consume 2 to 4 inches. That's 4 inches, probably 5 inches right there. 2 to 4 inches of fresh aloe vera gel, skin removed. You saw how I did that. Every 2 to 4 waking hours. So you wake up in the morning, you start. Every 2 to 4 waking hours. This is for acute attacks. People got an acute gallbladder spasm. Acute, maybe they're going to the doctors all the time. The doctor's like, you're having gallbladder problems. Come back and visit me in a month. We'll check it out. We'll take a look at your gallbladder. And you're having these acute attacks or chronic ones. This is when you can do an aloe vera shock therapy, and you can really take this on. If your doctor allows it, ask your doctor what's right for you. Okay. Continue this therapy for 1 to 7 days. You can do aloe vera shock therapy anywhere from 1 to 7 days. I have helped so many people over the years with aloe vera shock therapy, having them eat the shock therapy aloe after meals. So I'm going to talk about that area too. Let's go into it. After 3 or 4 days off aloe vera shock therapy, you're welcome to cycle through 1 to 7 days again. So if you're somebody and you're doing your first day, you do it for 7 days, you can take a few days off, cycle again for another 7 days. You can do 2 or more inches of fresh aloe vera gel daily or twice a week. It's another thing too. You don't have to do the shock therapy where you're in this crisis, or you want to do it every 2 to 4 hours because you're in this crisis. You're really inflamed. Maybe you're somebody with colitis and you had a relapse with your colitis and you're so inflamed and you're suffering. That could be a time to do also the shock therapy. You could do the shock therapy if you're somebody with chronic gastritis. But you're welcome just to do it daily, where you buy aloe and you're doing a piece of aloe every single day, 2 ounces every single day. Okay? To prepare the aloe gel, carefully slice open your 2 to 4 inch piece of aloe vera leaf. I love how the directions are actually in here. Trimming away the green spikes. Now what you'll see is I did not trim away the green spikes. You might be somebody where you actually know kind of like to stay away from these. You just don't grab it, like squeeze on the spikes or anything like that. And you'll see, I'll show you too, like this, these spikes. Some of them are just razor sharp, like a cactus. I mean, they're just really sharp. Some are kind of dull. These are a little bit more dull on the dull side, but anyway. Make sure you do not use the skin. As you're scooping out the aloe gel, try not to scrape to the skin like I taught you before. The chemical compound in the green skin can be irritating for some people, so you don't want to eat the skin. I can't tell you how many people I'm like, you got to do some aloe. It's going to really help. And they take the skin and everything. They throw it in the blender. And then I think even somebody on social, like, I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago, they were showing people how to eat aloe or something. It was like a chef, and they just threw the whole leaf in the blender, skin and all, and spikes and all. And I was like, oh, man, dude. I was like, holy crap. That's not good. I feel bad for anybody eating that right there. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I was scared for people because it could be irritating. I was just don't know why people do that. And eat the gel straight if possible for best results. But if you have to, put it in the fridge in a shot glass or a little glass bowl, you can do that. Remember, cut off the very edge as I talked about and discard that. It's way too bitter. Okay, so that's some of the tips right here, which are really cool. You're welcome to prepare all of your aloe gel for the day at once. You can do that as well. Put it in an airtight container in the fridge. If you're storing a partial leaf, wrap the cut end in a damp towel or plastic wrap if you really want, and place it in the refrigerator. Avoid aloe leaves where the gel is very red inside, like tomato red inside, okay? It's oxidized. It's just going bad. So keep that in mind. These leaves aren't fresh. They're starting to decay. When doing the aloe vera shock therapy, eat it straight or blend it in water. Do not add to smoothies. It doesn't work the same when it's added to smoothies. Very important piece of information. All right, let's roll a little bit here. Get this blender over here for a moment. Yep, plugged in, ready to roll. Let's scoop some aloe. Mix some aloe water. You can do it this way. I love it this way too. Don't get me wrong. It's the second best option versus eating it. Keep that in mind. Nice. It's getting slippery, but that's just how the story goes. All right. We got that in there. Let's add some water. Up to you on how much water you want to add. I don't like adding a lot. So, all right, that's good. You don't want to like fill your blender like this high unless you have a lot of aloe in there. That's 4 inches, a little bit more. It's a really healthy sized leaf. We're on. Let's go. You guys on Instagram, that's not us kicking you guys off. That's not the medical medium team. That's Instagram kicking everybody off. See, so you can go to medicalmedium.com or Rumble or TikTok. Got your aloe water right here. There it is. Now, a lot of people would prefer this. They don't want the slimy texture of the aloe. They feel like it's too slimy. It's too, it's gross. Some people will just think it's just gross. But the most powerful way to consume it and eat it is like I was showing you before. Taking it, scooping it right out, eating it direct. Let's go into like when to eat it. After meals, if you're somebody that suffers with digestive problems after they eat, acid reflux, gastric pain, bloating, maybe burning in the stomach, that's a really good one too. A lot of people have ulcers or they're just burning in the stomach because their nerves are on fire because they're inflamed. So their intestinal nerves and the nerves around their stomach are just hot wired because they're inflamed. And because of that, they're going to feel like burning instantly. Or there's somebody that's dealing with H. pylori. They got mini ulcers that aren't even detectable with an endoscopy, not even detectable in any way, shape, or form. Maybe an ultrasound doesn't show anything, and they just have burning. It's mysterious burning going on. That means that you could have these little micro fissures. They're just undetectable. They're really tiny from H. pylori, from strep bacteria, from different varieties of bacteria in the gut. And when that's happening, okay, even viruses too, like viruses that are behind colitis. Either way, eating aloe directly after eating food is an option. So if you had a meal of some kind, whatever that meal is, do aloe. If you had a melon, do aloe after a melon. If you had bananas, do aloe after bananas. If you had apples, do your aloe after your apples. Or maybe you had something else. Maybe you had avocado. Maybe you had a salad. Maybe you had fish. Maybe you had chicken. Maybe you had a steak. Whatever it is that you're eating and you got stomach problems, have the aloe directly after or 20 minutes after or half an hour after. And if you're experiencing gas pains or any kind of other issues, you can do aloe then too. It doesn't even have to be after you eat directly. It could be when you're experiencing a problem in the moment. Maybe you're somebody where you're bellowed over. You're just in pain, like, oh my God, here it comes again. And you're feeling that pain. It could be then as well. You might be someone who needs to consume a leaf a day. Keep open-minded on that. I mean, ask your doctor what's right for you. but you might be someone that needs to do about a leaf a day or a half a leaf a day, doing the aloe vera shock therapy out of the protocols book, and you're doing like a half a leaf a day or a leaf a day. Keep open-minded about that too. These things are no joke. All of these protocols, tips, suggestions right here for people who are struggling, take them to your doctor, ask them if it's right for you, bring the book to your doctor or healthcare provider, practitioner, ask them if it's okay to do it. Let's start some potatoes. And I forgot, I have a shot glass right here of some aloe. Fine. And good. That's really good. Bartender, give me another. It's going to take time to learn how to eat it that way for a lot of you guys. But man, it's life-changing. It coats the stomach. It coats the intestinal tract. It inhibits growth of things that are growing in there that shouldn't be growing in there. You guys check out Brain Saver Protocols. Let's make a recipe. Let's find the recipe. It's so soothing on the gut lining. It is so soothing. You know what's not soothing on the gut lining? All the makeshift crap out there that they're selling for people's guts and they're dumping it in. That's not soothing on the gut lining. Bentonite clay with probiotics, zeolite with stuff, fulvic minerals, fulvic acid, humic acid, right? Shilajit, all this stuff. People are doing powders, herbal powders, and they're just sending all this stuff down. They're mixing it up. They're putting, whatever. They're sending it down. They're popping pills. Scratches the crap out of your intestinal tract lining. All of that goes down in there, scratches up the lining, doesn't inhibit anything from growing. Everything still grows all the same. And you're doing all that, and you're back at the doctor's office, and now you're doing some antibiotic for your stomach, then you're back here, you're back there, then you're everywhere. And meanwhile, something that's soothing for the lining, the medical medium, aloe shock therapy, medical medium, brain saver protocols. Let's make the Mexican potato hash. Let's see if we can make it right. All right. Got the pan on. Let's get some potatoes on here. Boom. Throwing that heat on maximum. That's right. Gonna move my aloe water. I'll drink that later. Gonna get rid of this too. I'm excited. I'm taking a shortcut. I'm using steamed potatoes. The recipe calls for raw potatoes. I'm taking a shortcut because I wanted to. First of all, I had steamed potatoes on hand. Second of all, we're spending a lot of time. We'll be here for 4 hours if I have to do it that way. All right, let me move these over a little bit. Let's make this happen. Got some potatoes right here. Look at the size of this potato. This is crazy. Let's cut this up. I'm gonna do a little cubing on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it in half like that. Maybe another here like that. I'm just going along with the program here in the sense like, you know what? I want them cubed, so let me go along with naturally happens right here. So then I'm gonna cut it like this. Cut it like that. And then maybe even cut it like this. I want these nice cubes here. It's not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna have something. And then, check this out. Boom. Look at this. I might do a little sawing action here. Looking for a nice specific look to it. Okay. Next one there. All right. Okay. There we go. See this? Like little cubes. Now, if it was a raw potato, those cubes would be like hard. They would be solid. So you have to understand this is going to be a little bit messier because it's a steamed potato. All right, look. Let's do this now. Check this out, okay? There we go. Ready, guys? We're going to cube these up. Nice. Love that. That one came out really good there. Let's get another one. the size of this potato. It's a hot potato. It's hot. It's not hot. It's not hot. It's good. It's good. All right. Let's cut these just right. There we go. Okay. Guys, checking this out. We're going to do these cubes again. I got the pan on. I got the griddle on. Griddle's getting hot. There we go. Now I'm going to cut these nice little squares. There we go. For some reason, that one really held together. Really looked good. It's a starchy potato. Let me get these pieces here. All right, let's do another one. Nice. Okay, let's try it. Same technique. You guys, I really feel bad for so many people out there suffering from intestinal tract issues, stomach problems. I mean, you guys know, a lot of you guys have gone through it, or you're going through it now. It's really difficult. It's a lot of suffering. Unless you've been through it yourself, you'll never be able to explain it to somebody else. Like, you can tell people and they'll just look at you like, what do you mean? Like, go to the doctor. You know, right? Did you ever have that happen? Where you're struggling, you've been to the doctor, you've been places. It's like, go to the doctor, man. Why are you suffering with that intestinal tract problem? You know, people will say that. Unless you really know what it's like. Okay, we're going to cut another one here. Unless you know what it's like, it's hard to explain to somebody like, yeah, I have intestinal tract problems. I can't go to the bathroom, or I got the runs all the time, and I'm really struggling, and I'm in pain. I'm gastric, my system's so screwed up. And people are like, they'll look at you and be like, well, I had food poisoning at some point. That's the only way I can reference it. That's another thing too. Aloe Vera shock therapy for food poisoning recovery and chemical sensitive people. When people are chemical sensitive, they're afraid to do anything. They're afraid to take anything. They're just so nervous. They're so scared. And they do aloe vera. It's so gentle on them. Probably one of the most gentlest, powerful way for somebody who's chemical sensitive. They have food sensitivities. It's another thing too. But the problem is, in food sensitivities, you go to a doctor, you get the ALCAT, or you get a food sensitivity scan. Next thing you know they put aloe vera on the list. You're sensitive to aloe vera. Well, I never had aloe vera before. They're like, yep, you're sensitive to it. And then you lose an opportunity to heal. I'm going to be using spices today. If you have digestive problems, you don't have to use the spices. You don't have to have the spices. I'm going to be using spices though, okay? If you're sensitive in any way, you can leave the spices out, all right? Or use less of them. How about that? Use less of them. Pan's getting hot. Let's get an apparatus for the pan. I think I'm going to try this one here. Okay, basically what it is, like for the taco seasoning, there's all kinds of different spices and all that. You can minimize those. You can, and I'm going to put those in now, but I want to just make sure I have enough potatoes. I'm going to go with one more. I want to make sure I got a really big dish of potatoes here. There we go. Let's knock this out. Nice. Let's get these cubed up. Boom. Not bad, not bad. Now we're talking here. This is what I'm talking about. You ever hear anybody say that? This is what I'm talking about. All right. Got some seasoning in here. Let's roll. Okay, onion powder. About a tablespoon. Heavy on the onion powder. That's what I like to do. The recipe calls for that. Nice. Nice. All right. Let's get a little bit of cumin. Try that. There we are. Okay. About 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. You guys like cumin? Remember, you can keep a spice out. You don't like cumin? That's fine. Nice. This is going to be insane. It's going to taste great. Paprika. You'll notice there's no fat in here. Where's the oil? Where's all the oil? It's not in here. 1 teaspoon of paprika. Nice. 1 teaspoon of that. It smells so good. It smells so good. Garlic powder. Come on, let's roll. Boom. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Garlic powder. Just kidding around. I just like to fool around. This garlic powder hardened up a little bit. Nice. Let's go. Boom. Move that over. All right. Chili powder. We got it. A little bit of that. All right, let's keep it going. Red pepper flakes. This one has never been opened. What I'm going to do is pop open this part here. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Let's get some oregano in here, you guys. What's going on? It's going to taste really good. This is cooking nicely. I'm going to bring down the heat. This thing is like pumping away. Okay. Mix it up a little bit. Okay. I was thinking about today and I was like, you know what? Is this the dish to make? Yeah. There's nothing in here to kill your liver. There isn't a whole bunch of oil in here. There's no grease in here. There's no butter in here. There's no pork fat in here. This is fat-free, overt fat-free, which is incredible. Let's make the pico. Let's go. No pressure. No pressure. All right, let's go. 1 cup diced tomato. I'm going to do a little bit more than that. Let's get these tomatoes rolling. All right. I don't want these tomatoes really, really big. I want them kind of like also like smaller size, so you don't have this massive piece of, you know, tomato. Let's dice these up. Going to take a little extra minute here, but we'll do it. Do you guys like tomatoes? You're not afraid of tomatoes, right? You know what's crazy? Medical medium information. We crushed the nightshade fear. You hardly hear a squeak or a peep out of anybody about it now. We crushed it. You know what else medical medium information did? We crushed fruit fear. Yeah, there's still some people still scared a little bit, but we annihilated it in the medical medium book series. Millions of people around the world saw the information. Get this on here. We crushed the nightshade fear. You know what else we crushed? You still hear a little bit of it, right? Out there, nightshades, still hear a little bit of it. We crushed cruciferous fear. That's medical medium that did that information out there. We busted it. No one was friendly with cruciferous. No one in the health movement was. We cracked that wide open. No one was friendly about fruit fear. Nobody was. Nobody was friendly about nightshades. Nobody in health. Nobody in the health movement. We busted it wide open. I took my lashings. I took my beatings. I took the flack, but we crushed it. We crushed it. And that's what we did. It's actually a dead turkey out there, man. You only hear once in a while somebody squeak out there, and they're like, but nightshades, right? You only hear a couple of them out there now. Or a couple of them like cruciferous, goitrogen compounds, right? You only hear a couple of them. But we crushed it. It's crazy what has happened with the medical meme information. Fruit fear. Now everybody, even carnivore people are eating fruit. Carnivore. Anti-fruit people. Now they're eating fruit. That's how bad we like annihilated fruit fear. It just cracks me up because it's movement forward in the health world. Love it. I cut a couple of these bigger pieces down a little bit. There you go. All right. Just going to mix this up a little bit, you guys. Bear with me. This is coming together nice. Smells so good. Yeah. Keep that going. Add a little bit more heat to that. All right. What else did we knock out? We destroyed the liver flush. You know, when you drink a gallon of olive oil, we annihilated that. Very few people do that anymore. Right? We totally annihilated that one. All in the good name of just making sure we can protect people so they're not hurting themselves. That's what the medical meme information has done. It's allowed people in the health movement to eat fruit without getting their brains bashed in about it. Anyone who is eating a banana, they would just get attacked by everybody in health, the health movement, all the health gurus and stuff. They'd be attacking. You weren't allowed to eat a banana. You weren't allowed to eat a berry years ago. Even that, it was like, is it low glycemic? It's not low glycemic enough. You can only eat a green apple. Do you guys remember that? In the health movement, only a green apple was allowed. And even that was shunned upon. You were shunned. You eat a green apple, you were borderline shunned. You eat a red apple, man, you were like totally shunned. You guys remember that? Yep. Okay. Yeah. Let's get a few more tomatoes. What else? Guys remember that? We destroyed the lectin crap. All the lectin stuff, we destroyed it. I don't hear too many people like, lectins. Oxalates. We totally took oxalates out too. The medical meme information taught people about oxalates. Very few people talk about oxalates anymore. We're making the Mexican potato hash. I am at your service. I am your chef for the day. I am a hired chef. Yes. You must be some very wealthy people. You have hired me. I am your chef. Yep. I'm glad and happy to be here. I'm going to head off to the farmer's market to pick all your lovely vegetables and your food. And I'm going to go to the butchery and get your best piece of meat butchered. I'm going to bring it back to your mansion. And I'm going to do chefing for you because I'm your hired chef for the day. Oh, no, don't worry. I got the cooking covered. You get your facials, get your massage. Yep, do your steam bath. Get your seaweed wrap on your body. Your trainer's coming in? Good. Have your trainer come in. Make sure you get your training and your workout in. I will slave away and do all the cooking here at this mansion. Thank you for hiring me on. Okay. Looking good. Okay, let's chop up some onions. onion. All right. I got an onion here. Onion here. Here we go. I see somebody yelled at me one time and they're like, "Hey W, you gotta use the skin on the onion. You're losing all the B vitamins. You gotta use the skin." I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna force my guests or anybody else to try to munch on that skin of the onion. Okay, you guys, this is what I'm making. Right here, Mexican potato hash. Here it is. I want to show you guys right there on TikTok. You guys hanging in there for the ride? Boom. All right, you guys are psyched or what? Yep. Got our friend with us too. I have lots of guests to feed. Just peel the skin back. Got an onion. Here it comes. No! 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 Little pieces. My eyes are burning already. No! Get nice little pieces of this onion here. Let's go. Okay, it's going in the bowl. Not yet. All right. Let's get some small little cubes. That's what I want to do. Small little cubes. All right, you guys. What else did we knock out? We knocked out the canola oil, baby. Medical medium information knocked out the canola oil on the scene. Took years, but we did it. Info knocked out natural flavors. Yeah, it's in everything, but I'm noticing a lot of people, a lot of companies are taking it out of stuff. Medical medium info. Donnie said, all the major healers are talking in terms, but don't like to admit it. He is ahead of his time. Thank you. It's all because of SOC, or I would just be like them. Okay. And I wouldn't know. All right, these onions are going in here. I'm going to put a little bit more onion in here too. This is coming out really good. We're going to make some incredible cheese for this too. Seriously, thank you for recognizing that. I really appreciate it. Seriously. It might help somebody actually use the information and work on their healing process. There we go. We did it. Let's get rid of these. There we go. Woo. Back here. What else did we crush? Alcohol and tinctures. We crushed it. Very few people are doing alcohol and tinctures, and you see people, you know, gurus now like, don't do alcohol in your supplements, don't do alcohol in your tinctures. That came from medical medium. Don't do alcohol in your supplements now. We crushed the alcohol in the tincture game. Think about what we've accomplished, you guys, all these years. The list goes on and on and on. We brought the term long COVID into the scene. Long flu, long COVID is originally medical medium information and published medical medium information. Okay. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Toxic heavy metals being the cause of mental health problems is medical medium information. We brought that to the world. And now clinics are taking the info. We published it first. Fragrances and scented candles being bad for you. Medical medium information goes all the way back. And we're crushing it because now there's like doctors coming on TikTok going, stay away from scented candles. Like they discovered that. Stay away from scented candles. Everybody's like, scented candles? Oh my God, scented candles. It's medical medium information. I've been talking about that for years. We're crushing that too. Don't you want to be on the winning team? Do you want to be on the winning team? This is where the stuff is like crushing it. All right, let's go. What else? Some cilantro leaves. Now we got a little bit of flat leaf parsley today, because that's what I want to use in this one, but you can use cilantro. But I'm going to use this beautiful flat leaf parsley out of the garden. So I wanted to use that. So let me go and do that. Boom. Oh, you hear that sound? You hear that whisper down the lane? What is it? What's that whisper down the lane? I hear it. What is it? It's vagus nerves. Vagus nerves, everybody. Everybody talk about vagus nerves. Original medical meme information. Vagus nerves and symptoms based upon vagus nerves. Info. All right. I'm just stating mere facts. I'm not boasting. I'm not talking crap. I'm stating mere facts. That's all. Facts. And then, of course, the elusive, notorious Epstein-Barr, baby. I was called the Epstein-Barr boy, the Epstein-Barr guy. I was ridiculed, made fun of. There were freaking like YouTubes about it making fun of me. Everybody's making fun of me. I was the Epstein-Barr guy. Now everything's Epstein-Barr. And they're testing for Epstein-Barr for every Lyme disease patient because of medical medium. Epstein-Barr. Multiple sclerosis. The cause of multiple sclerosis is Epstein-Barr. Published first by Medical Medium Books. Taken later by Harvard. Epstein-Barr literally across the board is on the table now because of medical medium. I can do this all day. I could do it all day long and talk about this stuff all day long. Let's get a little bit of this in here. Nice. See what else we got? That's going to be so good. So good. Nice. Look at that. It's hot. Piping hot. Woo! Now let's get some ripe hot pepper. Whoa. Some ripe hot pepper right there. These cayennes are really hot. Really hot. But seriously, I'm serious. Celia says on YouTube, seriously, nobody ever mentioned the vagus nerves until after you started talking about them a lot. No one mentioned the fragrances. No one mentioned the blood draw problem that they're starting to talk about now because Medical Meme put it out there. Nobody mentioned the vegans never said eggs were bad for you. Did you know that? The plant-based movement? I'm serious. If you can, hear me out. The vegans and the plant-based people never said anything bad about the egg. They just said because they're vegan, they won't eat the egg. Because they're plant-based, they won't eat the egg. They never knew eggs cause inflammation by feeding pathogens. It's medical medium information. The health movement has changed because of Info. It is not what it was. It has changed. And if you're young and you don't know this, you have no idea where 80% of all this stuff came from. The information. It's completely tipped over on its edge. It's changed completely. And then the liver problems. Here's another one that's medical medium. Skin issues caused by liver problems. Liver problems creating eczema, psoriasis, skin problems, dermatitis, weight gain. You see that now. Doctors are like, if you have a sluggish liver, you have weight gain. There's no science behind a sluggish liver and weight gain. That's medical medium information published first. Yeah. And the beginning of most every chronic illness, the liver having a problem in many ways because of pathogens and everything else. And the reason why they talk about the liver now is because of the infamous liver rescue book that has gone around the globe, published in almost every single country in the world. And that's what. I'm exhausted. Kidding. All right. And then what about the zinc and the B12 thing? And the lemon balm and the cat's claw medical medium? Nobody was using cat's claw for Lyme disease. That's info. Nobody was using cat's claw. Cat's claw is in every one of these now immune system supplements out there. Medical medium. Going back for decades. No one's done it. stuff first. Lemon balm. All of it. I mean, you name it. And the zinc phenomenon and the B12 phenomenon stems from medical medium information. Restoring the nerves. Nobody knew it restored the nerves. They just thought B12 was for the body, but they didn't know it restored the central nervous system. Dude, I can go on and on and on and on. Whew. All right. It's important people know so they can get back to the original source and work on their healing process. Don't you want to know? You want to be on the winning team. Why do you think Why do you think MM's attacked the most out there? Because the biggest threat, because literally we changed health as it is today. And we showed them how it's done. All right, let's make some cheese. I put some pepper in there, some hot pepper in there. Let's stir it up. Someone asked the other day, hey, medical medium, how come you still use metal utensils? When you're dealing with stainless steel, right? The mildest of all metals, right? And you're doing your wild blueberries, and you're doing their heavy metal detox smoothies, and you're doing all that. You're doing your spirulina, the right stuff. You're doing all that. Yeah, you're not even. This will never be in you. This will never be in you. This is different. So I do use wooden a lot, but I'm not afraid to use a stainless steel utensil. All right. Let's make the cheese. Everybody say cheese. All right. Let's roll. Okay. Thumbs up if you like this show. If you don't like the show, thumbs up. Hit the button. Hit the like. If you can. If not, no worries. Okay, let's make some cheese. Let's roll. I think I got what I need. Yeah, I do. Okay, guys. All right, I'm over here by the steamer. Just so you know, I didn't leave you. I'm by the steamer, and I got really hot potatoes right here. Okay? I'm going to break them apart. They're right out of the steamer. You heard the steamer running? And these suckers are hot. Boom. Don't do that right there. Don't grab them with your hands and do that. For some reason, I can grab really hot things and be all right, but some people, they just can't do that. Okay? And then what about the infamous strep causing acne? That's medical medium information. All right? Now that's out there. And you'll notice there's strep formulas. They got all the things medical medium talks about as far as knocking out pathogens. Let's get this. Let's get carrots in here. All right. I got some steamed carrots right here, you guys. I'm going to pop these in. We're going to make some cheese. I don't want them too carroty. I mean, I love carrots, but I think that will just be perfect right there. And then, what about this one? Do you guys remember this one? You can't eat collagen to fix your collagen, and now everybody's talking about that now. Health professionals out there saying, yeah, you can't eat collagen to make collagen. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the building blocks. Already published, already done. That's original info that people are poaching. And then women's hair loss, adrenal issues now, and how hair loss can happen when you have something terrible happen in your life, or some kind of emotional spill happens, or you're going through something, an emotional struggle, a loss, and then 9 months later, your hair falls out. Or you have a baby, 6 months later, your hair starts falling out. You know, it's adrenaline, and people don't understand that with the hair loss thing, but now they're talking about it. They got it from the MM books. It's original info here. All right, let's turn this on. Let's go. Now, I'm going to actually add some spices to here, actually. So let me do that. I'm going to go with some lime juice. Nice. Might need some lime juice for that right there, too. Put some lime in here. Nice ripe lime. Boom. Okay. We're going to go some onion powder, some garlic powder, some paprika. Let's do it. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Nice. Some paprika. Am I going too fast now? And a little bit of water. Whew. Let's get it rolling. Dr. Fun, influencers need to thank you for giving them content to talk about. Not only that, no, they don't do that though, Dr. Fun. No, instead they just talk shit. I mean, before medical medium info out there that people, got, not originally, like years ago, before it was getting out there and getting out there and getting out there. If you got sick, there was just no direction. There was just none. All you can do is just pick like a diet for your blood type, or do the GAPS, or do, or do something, or do the FODMAP, or you couldn't get anywhere. You just stayed sick. You laid in your bed. You stayed on Mattress Island, and you stayed sick. That was it. That was the way it went. I don't know if you remember that. That was just a part of the story. You didn't have anywhere to go. Back before the Medical Medium Book 1 book, like, you had nowhere to go. Nobody knew not to get all their mercury fillings out at once. This original MM info. Do one at a time. Like, nobody had, they had a direction. It was really sad. It was Wild West, truly, or just the long lost world of sadness. All right, this is ready and perfect. Let's get a plate going. All right. Can I clear the playing field a little bit? We got a plate. I'm excited about this. Let's plate it. All right. See if we can take a look here. There we go. These are nice and toasty. They toasted up in the pan. Keep in mind, I did not. Keep in mind that I did not add water to this pan. You didn't want mushy potatoes. You wanted them cubed. You wanted them kind of toasty. You see this? This is what I'm talking about right here. Right there. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. Whew. Let's get the cheese on top next. Let's go. Let's drizzle a little bit of that cheese on top. Okay. All right. That looks freaking good. I love when it comes together nice. Oh yeah. Guess what's not in this cheese? Bovine. That's not in here. I'm not saying, you know, I mean, if you're into bovine stuff, that's fine, right? But I'm just saying there ain't no bovine in here. There ain't no natural flavors. This isn't vegan cheese. Oh, man, I hate vegan cheese. Vegan cheese is the worst. The junk that's in vegan cheese, MSG and the natural flavors and all the garbage that's in vegan cheese, it's really bad, I'm going to be honest. Some vegan cheeses just have all that soy in there. Some vegan cheeses have all that canola oil in there. Some vegan cheeses, they'd be like, oh no, it's all almond, but then they have all this other garbage like carrageenan and everything else in there. Guar gum. I mean, seriously? All right, looks pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Extra cheese, please. Extra cheese, please. All right. Now the pico. Got you. Ready? All right. Let's get that on here. Yeah. Thank you for coming to Medical Medium Kitchen, a Medical Medium cooking show. We covered life-saving information for so many people. Wait till you actually apply some of that information. Maybe you'll get the Brain Saver Protocol book. If you have the book, read it. Start to learn. This is looking really good. And what I'm doing is, there we go. That's looking so good. Love it. All right. Okay, you got it. I'm just going to get this together, you guys. We're not done. Whoa. All right, now let me get a lime. That's a nice lime right there. Okay. Okay. Why do I have to throw it in the air? Why? Why do I have to throw it in the air? Can I just get a couple of nice, really nice lime wedges right here? There's one. Okay, I'm going to get another. And I'm going to get another. Look at these lime wedges here. I'm going to put a couple over here. You guys okay with this? I hope so. Did we just do it? Like for real? Okay. You guys see that? Is that sick? You guys see that on IG? What about TikTok? What about you guys up there? You guys see this? Is that insane? I'll bring it up closer. Right? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Does it match this at all? Right here in the Protocols book. You guys on TikTok. You guys, thank you for being here on TikTok. Thank you. I feel your love, seriously. Same thing, IG. I feel your love. YouTube, Rumble, right? Everywhere else. I feel your love, you guys. You guys are amazing. What about that right there? Can I have some now? Whew. You guys don't mind? I can't eat without Grogu with me at all times now. For some reason, I have to have Grogu here when I eat. Whew. Grogu, do you want any? Okay. Oh, this is so good. Take a look at this right here. Some tomato on here. Do you guys see? Oh my God, look at that. So, this is incredible. This is insane. Do you ever have anybody point the fork at you? That's so good. That is, seriously? That is insane. You can take a little lime, spray, just put it on top like that, do a little squeeze. This is off the charts. This is off the deep end. I don't even know what to say. All right, you guys. Rock and roll. Killing foods that can be gourmet. Insanely delicious. That's what I'm talking about. I'm in the habit of saying that now every minute. That's what I'm talking about. All right. It's the Medical Me and Brain Saver Protocols book right there. This book is packed. Make sure you grab one on sale at Amazon.com, US. Seriously. Sign up to my Telegram. Get on my Telegram page, man, because I'm going to start leaving some telegrams. And just so you know, for the record, I'm going to start shooting off my mouth soon enough about all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. So get ready, because I've been holding it in, and it's going to have to come out. I'm letting you know. And when it does, the shit's going to be shocking as hell. Anyway, check out my Telegram. Be on there if you can. Medical Medium newsletter. Sign up for it so you don't miss out on all the stuff. Sign up to my TikTok. I'm going to do exclusive stuff on TikTok. I'm eventually going to do exclusive stuff on Rumble. I'm going to do exclusive stuff in all kinds of places. Yeah. Renato144, good to see you. Did you see the party treat recipe email that went out? Did you check that out? Anyway, you guys, did you see that? Did you see that email? Did you catch it? Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, guys. Love you much.